So buying and selling a home has certainly changed over the years, and right now we're joined by Mark Gorman and Brett O'Daniell from HomeTraq. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So what is HomeTraq?
HomeTraq is a real estate on-demand technology that actually puts the consumer completely in control through an on-demand home showing solution. It eliminates all the commitment and obligation to the agent, so somebody can immediately schedule a home tour without having to commit to a real estate agent too early in the process. They're starting their home search online, such as like a Zillow or Realtor.com. They're finding the houses that they want to get into, and now we've just bridged the gap to be able to create a very simple, transparent way to get inside a house. We like to say it's similar to in the same way that you use Uber to quickly find a driver to get a ride. You use HomeTraq to quickly find a real estate agent to tour a home.
So, Brett, is this the latest example of the Internet changing business as usual? Absolutely.
So, as Mark mentioned, most home buyers are finding the houses that they want to tour online. And in fact, 94% last year, the National Association of Realtors tells us 94% of all home buyers start their search online. So they're very educated. And what we've found in our research and our early findings is that many people know more about neighborhoods and the housing market than even some of the real estate agents in that neighborhood. That doesn't mean the real estate agent doesn't know what they're doing. That just means there's so much information online. But they still have to talk to an agent traditionally to get into a house because the agents are the only ones that can open those doors for them.
So, Brett, at what point does the real estate agent get involved?
So what happens with our technology is a buyer uses Zillow or Realtor.com, any online home finding service, to find a home that's for sale. They put that at HomeTraq.com, our website. They put in the address. They pick the time they want to see it. So, for example, 6 o'clock tonight. I doubt anybody's going to look at houses at 6 o'clock tonight. They're all going to be watching the Blues game, right? But in that example, they put that time in there, and then what happens is our technology pings out to agents who are available at that time to show the house at 6 o'clock. So it puts the consumer in control of the process. The agent meets them at the house and opens the door for them to get into the house.
And these are not HomeTraq agents. These are agents from about 20 different real estate brokers around town. We have hundreds of agents that are active in the system. It gives the opportunity for the consumer to not just quickly get into the houses, but to meet multiple agents if they see several houses. So then they can select an agent that they want to work with.
So for first-time home buyers, this sounds like it would be really great since they might not have a history with an agent?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. A lot of times that people do their home search online and they just don't know who to contact, or the person they used in the past is no longer in business or just not available. And with the inventory of homes being so low right now, most consumers don't want to wait. So they want to get into the house as quickly as possible. And it's such this on-demand instant gratification that everybody has now that they want to be able to immediately get into homes without having to wait for return phone calls and going back to the old traditional way of calling a realtor to get into a house.
And to your point, Jennifer, someone who's never met a realtor before doesn't know who to call. They could tour 3 or 4 houses, meet 3 or 4 different agents, and then they're essentially interviewing agents as they're touring houses. So they don't have to use the agent that shows them the specific house. Mm-hmm. They might have liked agent number 2 but liked house number 4. So they have the freedom to do that with HomeTraq. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So what would you say is the number one advantage for someone who uses HomeTraq?
Instant gratification. So they find the house, they just want to be able to get in immediately. And our response time is that it's similar to the Uber app in the sense that they put in the address, the date, and the time that they want to see it that's convenient for them, and then it pings out to the agents in the area so that and our response time is 3 to 5 minutes to not only request a home showing but to have it confirmed and booked. Normally that can be hours and days using the traditional methods. So our average response time is 3 to 5 minutes, so they're looking for that immediate gratification.
So what is the home buying market like in St. Louis right now?
It's extremely aggressive. I mean, there's very low inventory. Days on market is one of the lowest it's ever been, while prices continue to rise. So there's a huge demand, and the consumers want to buy, but houses are coming on the market and selling extremely quickly. So that's part of the reason we created the technology, was to provide that instant gratification to get inside the home as quickly as possible without having to have that the high-pressure sales tactics that you may get from some real estate agents.
I sold a house about a year and a half ago, and it had been 9 years, and everything seemed to change. In your experience, how is the home buyer different these days?
They're much more educated. So they have a better idea of value. They know what their number is. They still need educated on parts of the process, but they're coming in with an idea already of what that house is going to be worth and what they're going to need to do to go through the process. They still need the expert to walk them through the whole process. So to be clear, we're not proposing or creating a system that bypasses agents at all. It actually embraces them. It's just the change of that education up front to then connect them when a home is available to be seen. We've seen houses go on the market. It's very common right now. It goes on the market on a Tuesday or Wednesday. If someone's looking to wait till the weekend to an open house on a Saturday or Sunday, it might be too late that the house is already under contract. So that's what we're seeing a lot of the changes.
So how do you make your money at HomeTraq?
We monetize our business by receiving a referral fee on the real estate commission. So we actually make a 25% referral fee on all the real estate commissions. But our distribution model is that we've got combined 45 years of mortgage banking and real estate experience. But our main distribution model is that we have lenders, such as banks, credit unions, mortgage companies, distribute it to their big customer base because they want to have that intel that their customers are shopping for a home. Because most people don't get pre-approved for a mortgage until they're well down the line. So they want to have the intel that their customers are shopping, because financial institutions actually lose, the national average is 93% of all the mortgage opportunities out of their own customer base every year, because the real estate agents refer them to the competition long before the bank even knows their customer shopping for a home. So we've provided them a tool to get in front of the customer earlier and direct what real estate companies that they're using.
So does a real estate agent make less of a commission with HomeTraq?
It's an industry standard referral fee. Mm-hmm. So they want to get in front of those customers who are actively touring homes, because normally they're having to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on leads that they're buying from like Zillow or Realtor.com. So they're spending a lot on marketing and advertising. This is a much lower, cheaper cost of acquisition. They get in front of the customers, in front of a live customer, rather than just buying a random lead. Many of you, if you've ever clicked on a Zillow link, you know what it's like to get bombarded with all the phone calls, mm-hmm. text, and emails that come. And some people, get frustrated with that, and that's part of the reason we created this, is to circumvent that, is that once you've done that once, you never want to do it again, because you get hit by about 10 different realtors, 10 different mortgage companies calling you.
And for home sellers, you said that people can request seeing a home, and in 3 to 5 minutes they can. I think that might be a little hard on the home seller, though they have to agree too, right?
Well, for clarity, we get a confirmation of scheduling the appointment within 3 to 5 minutes. So it could be that, on your way home tonight, you wanted to see a house at 4 o'clock. You could request it now on HomeTraq and get a confirmation of your appointment at 4 o'clock within 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Most people are booking, half a day in advance, maybe a day in advance. But we do have a ASAP feature that they can get in as quickly as possible. And from the time they requested a showing to the time they got in was just under 45 minutes.
That's amazing.
And the sellers do have to participate in the sense that they don't directly participate. Their agents have the technology, like a appointment confirmation calendaring system that's done electronically.
So the sellers see a request come through like
mm-hmm.
they traditionally would from a real estate agent.
So if someone listening is interested in HomeTraq, what's the process? How did they get the ball rolling?
So HomeTraq is a mobile optimized web page or web app. And all you have to do is go to HomeTraq.com on any browser on your phone, and just put in the date or the address, the date and the time that you want to see the house, and it'll send out the request to the agents, and you'll get a confirmation within minutes.
So, Mark, one of our texters says a 25% commission for referrals seems high, but you said that's the industry standard?
That's pretty much the industry standard.
In your opinion, do millennial buyers want everything to be perfect compared to baby boomer buyers who would look at a house and say, here's what needs to be fixed and I'll do it?
Well, it's not just about millennials. I mean, it's millennials, early Gen X, and some people who have been through several transactions, or they just want to get access to the houses immediately. But we are focused on those people that want that instant gratification. It's not for everybody, but there's some people who are going to pick the traditional relationship because they have a relationship with somebody, mm-hmm. with an agent. But now we're just creating an easy way and bridge that gap of finding the home online and immediately get them into the house.
because of the nature of technology, do you think this appeals more to a younger demographic than older buyers, or not necessarily?
We definitely, in our early traction, thought that was where we were headed, were millennials and younger Gen X. But what we found, I mean, some of our customers have been in their 60s and even their 70s. That Mark brought it up earlier, that some have gone through an experience before, whether it was clicking on a Zillow link and getting bombarded, or maybe they weren't happy with the service they had before. They're looking for a different way. So even those that are experienced are saying, hey, I would like to interview a few agents before I actually am ready to write a contract. But we're absolutely trying to meet that I want it now mentality
and so
of the younger generation.
Once the buyer contacts HomeTraq, sees a few homes, meets a few agents, then they go down the traditional path with the agent who helps them find a lender and all that?
Yes, the consumer controls the process. So once they're ready, and it's one of the unique features is that we actually don't share the phone number or the email address of the customer with the agent, so the customer controls that. They can chat through the app, so they can definitely communicate. But when the customer's ready for that, and a lot of them are, and it's actually happened quicker than we had anticipated. The average is about 3 showings, so the customer now has met 3 different agents, and then they're going off and touring houses traditionally or going to write that contract. But I did want to come back. You asked that are people looking for perfect houses more these days? There's definitely been a trend to more move-in ready houses. But if the house is not move-in ready, we're also seeing that there's a whole different segment of buyers that want to fix it up and make it the way they want to. So it's really almost like the tale of two cities with the 2 different type of markets that are out there right now. So.
Brett O'Daniell and Mark Gorman, thank you so much for joining us here on the Art and Jennifer Show from HomeTraq. And again, people just go to HomeTraq.com, right, for more information.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the Museum of Transportation while you're here.
Thank you very much.
Look around at a few old cars and trucks.
And go Blues.
That's right. Let's go Blues.
Yes, go Blues.
Let's go Blues.